Don't engage alone. We do this together.
Yeah.
We got it! We got it!
New 52 booklet.
Somebody clip this.
Welcome to Comics League Comic Talk. I'm Jared, and today this was a reader suggestion or a viewer suggestion from my good friend Rahul Ryan. If you're watching this, thank you for the suggestion. And today I'm going to talk about why Superman is just as relatable as Batman. Because there's like a misconception, I think, in the fandom that Batman is the relatable superhero and Superman is just this big blue Boy Scout. He's not relatable because he has the powers of a god. And I got to say, that is extremely superficial for these reasons. Number one, otherism. And this is where the Snyder movies, I think, did pretty well, is that, so growing up, Superman, it's well been documented, if you will, in any origin, that growing up, Superman felt isolated from others when he was a kid growing up with these powers. Man of Steel also had this, and the New 52 had this.
The world's too big, Mom.
Then make it small.
Can I just keep pretending I'm your son?
You are my son.
This is also what drew him to Diana, because no one really understood what that's like other than her. It's also what drew Superman to the Justice League, because like, hey, there's this group of people that all get how you feel. So just hang out with those people. So in other words, here's the thing about Superman, and this is why I don't like what like John Byrne did with Krypton and Man of Steel, is because with John Byrne, he made it so Krypton is something to be ashamed of by making them cold and robotic and stuff. Where in like Man of Steel or like Man of Steel the movie or in like the New 52, they did more with Krypton to establish it's not as simple as being like this robotic alien race. So they really did a lot to like flesh that out. Number two, doing the right thing. Now here's the addendum I want to put in here. With Superman, it's not like he does the right thing automatically. It could be what I mean by this is he sticks to his guns and then takes the consequences. That's the right thing. In other words, let's say Superman makes a mistake. He accepts he made a mistake and will do anything he can to make amends for this, to quote Henry Cavill. This is why that man is awesome. So, yeah, it's really that. It's like, yeah, he will always try to do the right thing, 110%, because that is Superman. He will 100% always at least try to do the right thing. If he doesn't, he will 100% make amends for it. And guess what? All of these reasons, all five are 100% applicable to Batman. Some of them more than others. Next comes a certain amount of understanding with Superman, and that here's the thing. Yeah, he's this big blue Boy Scout that like always knows what to tell people, and like there's this panel in All-Star Superman, and I'll have the page up here on the screen, where there's a girl about to jump off a building. Superman appears behind her and goes, "You are so much stronger than you think you are." And what that kind of is, it brings to Superman's understanding. And the thing about it is, that's like that's the greatest power of Superman. And with that power, he's going on to number 4. As a matter of fact, 3 and 4 kind of linked. So I wanted to like talk about them together. Is the power of hope. And this is another thing. Again, that Man of Steel really emphasized and that the Snyderverse really emphasizes, that S is the Kryptonian symbol for hope.
The symbol of the House of El means hope. Embodied within that hope is the fundamental belief in the potential of every person to be a force for good.
He's supposed to bring hope to people. And that's an interesting, they made an interesting point in Man of Steel with the hope and the saving people, because we noticed in BVS, in that scene, and again, I'll have like the muted scene on the screen right now. In the scene where like the news media is talking about must there be a Superman stuff, and you see like the entire human race, not the entire human race, the mainstream media is like blasting Superman, calling him a possible threat. Do we really need Superman? He's just saving people, and he's bringing hope to people. That's the thing. That's the most Superman thing in Batman versus Superman, is the idea that no matter what happens, no matter how you feel about him, he will save you. And guess what? This has been done many times in the comics, where no matter how many times Lex Luthor screws with Superman's life, if Lex Luthor is in danger, Superman will still save him. Next, we get to number 5, leadership. And here's the interesting part about Superman. All the other Justice Leaguers and superheroes take their cues from him on how to behave as heroes. That's what was actually really cool about that Action Comics 1000 issue, where all of the where like Wonder Woman goes, if it were not for you, we probably wouldn't be here, which is kind of a meta take in that he was the first superhero, which actually being the example in that he's the model that even Marvel went off of when they created their guys. But it's like all the other superheroes take their cues from Superman. They have a certain amount of reverence for him. And even, again, in Zack Snyder's Justice League, they have this when they're digging up Superman's grave to go revive him. When Flash goes, we probably could have gotten him out in like a second, right? And then Cyborg is like, yeah, we could.
Cross this one off the bucket list. Exhume Superman from the grave. Check. You know we could do this in a nanosecond, right?
We could.
He just keeps digging. They're doing it slowly because it's out of reverence to Superman. Then you bring into the fact that Flash goes, he's my hero.
He's my hero.
And then the other thing is like, when they're lowering him into the Kryptonian chamber, you can see they have this certain amount of reverence for Superman, even Aquaman. So it's kind of cool to see the characters get that sort of respect. And the thing about Superman, to conclude point 5, is that he is the leadership example that we should all strive for. And it's the same thing with Batman. All 5 of these apply to Batman in a certain way. Granted, some may be more like out there, some may be more pronounced than others when it applies to Batman, but all these points apply to Batman. So on that note, I'm going to leave it here. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Consider becoming a member, because if you become a member, you get these a day early, which would be about Tuesday night. And then if you become a member, also you get access to our members only Discord and Twitter groups, where you can interact with me directly and just hang out. So on that note, everyone, stay heroic. Remember, Lois Lane is Lois Lame and she belongs with General Zod. See you later.